Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. If you're new to our channel, welcome. Here at Mad About Skin, we're passionate about helping you to get the most from your skincare. So if you haven't already, now's a fantastic time to click that link below, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell, and you won't miss out on any of our amazing future content. Now, in today's video, I'm guessing it's fairly obvious because I'm sat here in my pajamas, voice still croaky from the morning, the sun barely risen, hair undone, and that's because we're going to be doing a get ready with me. Now, I've already done a sort of morning routine on this channel before, which I will link up there if you want to check that video out. But I'm going to do it slightly different today. We're going to mix it up. I've got lots of new products which I've been sent that I'm looking to try, do some first impressions on, just chat with you and try out some established products that I love, but also some new products and share them on camera with you. I would love to know what your holy grail skincare items are at the moment. So leave me a comment below to let me know what is sort of your can't live without, ride or die product in your skincare range at the moment, because you guys have been giving me some amazing recommendations and I've got so much on order to try, and obviously I just love all of your recommendations have seen me right, so leave me comments for other products you think I should try and maybe incorporate in this routine. A lot of the products today are going to come from Hylamide, which is a brand from the creators of the Ordinary, Deciem, who is very separate to the Ordinary. So the Ordinary we know and love because they're very low price, focused on one active ingredient per product. Well, Hylamide is created slightly different. It's more of a mid-priced skincare range. It's still reasonably affordable, under the sort of £20 range for most of their products. So it's mid-range, but also they work on incorporating numerous active ingredients and technologies in each product. So it's kind of a bit more advanced and a little bit easier to get multiple steps in one product, which can save you time and effort. So we're going to be trying some of those products because they've very kindly sent me a selection of their products and I haven't actually tried any of them. You guys have gone mad for this range and keep saying to me, please do a full review. Well, this isn't a full review because I haven't actually opened or tried any of the products. This is just going to be sort of a first impressions. I'm going to give you my opinion on the brand and kind of what I think and hope each of these products are going to deliver. In about a month's time, I'll do a full review where I'll look at the results that I got and whether I'm going to be purchasing the products, using them again and using them in the future. So on a morning, I usually say, don't cleanse unless you really have to. When I mean that, I say if you're super oily and super greasy, then you might want to cleanse to remove some of that excess sebum. But normally, overnight, our skin just produces the natural oils that we need to repair the skin, to hydrate the skin, and to reinforce the skin barrier. I just don't think you need to be washing that off on a morning. If you think about what you have on your skin on a morning, you've got a bit of light perspiration from over the evening, which your toner will take off, so you don't need to worry about that. You haven't got much pollution, you haven't really got SPF, you haven't got heavy makeup or anything to remove. So I say, unless you feel like you really have to, skip cleansing on a morning. Now, I'm not going to follow my own advice because at the moment I am super oily. Skin types, well, my skin type tends to go up and down. It depends on the time of year and what I've been eating and my lifestyle. But at the moment I'm super oily. So I do feel that I have to cleanse just to remove that excess oil from the skin to allow the rest of my skincare to actually work, because we don't need it fighting through a barrier of grease to be able to get to the skin. And also that does help maintain the oil level in the skin and prevent future breakouts and clogging, which I know is probably around the corner if I don't tackle some of this excess oil. So I've actually used, this morning, I've used the Sanskrit Saponins by NIOD. This is a fantastic cleanser. For anyone that wants a surfactant, so it's got a light foaming but nothing really severe, but all natural from plant-based surfactants. It's also oil-free, which is fantastic for someone like me, and it does genuinely leave you matte but not dry. I think it might still be a little bit dry for the very driest amongst us, but for everyone else it's a really good option. I always say you don't need to spend more than $10 on a cleanser. I stick by that. However, I don't always follow my own rules. I think this is £30 here in the UK, which is not a terrible price point, but is up there. The reason I use this because the packaging is divine, but also I just think this is a really good option for someone like me that has excess oil in their skin, because it will remove that on a morning as a morning cleanser. It will remove that, but without taking all of the oils away, because I think sometimes oil cleansers for oily skin, it's all or nothing. You either oil it or you're stripped bare and there's no oil left in your skin. I kind of want a halfway house, and this delivers it. It takes away the excess oil to provide that mattifying, but it doesn't leave me dry and parched and feeling like it's removed or stripped all the oil from my skin. So I absolutely love it. Also, it is divine. If I show you on there, it's got such a gorgeous, like, totally natural sheen to it, and it smells absolutely stunning. Like I say, all natural, so I don't know how they've formulated this, but it smells bit like cocoa butter, but it's just absolutely gorgeous. I love this product. Fully recommend. You just literally just work it into the skin, onto damp skin, work it in, and then wash it off. It does say, they're very clear and nailed, that it won't remove makeup, so I'd use it as the second step if you're doing a double cleanse. Use a balm cleanser first and then use this. But on the morning, again, this is just perfect for just removing that excess oil. I don't need to take anything off the skin by that excess oil, and this is beautiful. So fully recommend this. And if you want a slightly more expensive cleanser, I think this is a really, really good option, and I'll be using it whilst I'm going through this little bit of an oily patch. Now, to help again, just keep me matte, my exfoliator at the moment is, my go-to exfoliator is the Nip and Fab Exfoliate Glycolic Fix Liquid Glow Extreme. Extreme, I don't know why they put extreme on it because it makes it sound a bit bougie. This actually has salicylic acid and glycolic acid in here. 6% glycolic acid, 2% salicylic acid, which is perfect for me because it's going to help declog the pores. The salicylic acid will go into my pores, take out some of that gunk, oil, dirt, debris, so prevent some of those future breakouts, which, fingers crossed, aren't around the corner. And also the glycolic acid is just going to remove all that dead skin cells, the surface exfoliation that I need. Basically, this is just going to make sure my skin's prepped for the rest of my skincare. So saturate your cotton pad. I would be a little bit careful with this if you have sensitive skin. I love the Nip Fab range. I think they're a fantastic brand, British brand, absolutely amazing. But they do have quite a lot of fragrances in their products. So just be really careful if that's something you're trying to avoid or you have sensitive skin. I basically just wipe this around the skin. I did my cleansing off camera because nobody wants to see me at the sink making a right mess. So I did that off camera. I've done this. And then that's it. Obviously do the back of the neck. I always say never forget the back of the neck and behind the ears, just because it's part of the skin as well. Often we put SPF, well, we should be putting SPF there. So it's good to just remove any like blockages or traces of SPF that might be left on. So once you've done that, now I'm just going to let that dry. So yeah, I've got these Hylamide products, which we're going to get into now, sent to me by Deciem, which was super, super kind of them. But I've also been sent so much stuff. On this channel coming up, we're going to be doing a full new SPF road. We've got some amazing new SPFs that I'm desperate to try from a range of companies, which is going to be super excited. I got my first shipment of Indian products. So quite a few guys have said, you guys have said, do you never feature Indian brands and products? It's just because I haven't been able to get my hands on them, but I have. So we're going to be seeing some fantastic Indian brands. I said on one of my live streams that I did the other day how excited I was about the Indians' love of turmeric. So a lot of Indian skincare has turmeric in, which is a fantastic natural brightening agent. So I'm really excited to try some of their turmeric serums because I think they could be really, really good and really brightening on the skin. And also we've got a Asian skincare haul. So a little from Japan, lots from South Korea, and a little bit from China, looking at their fantastic skincare over there. So we've got that to come up. So just a little teaser of some of the things which have come up on the channel. Now that's kind of sinking, it's done its work. I always say with an exfoliator, you want to leave it about a minute, 2 minutes to just get in, do its work, eat away at those dead skin cells and just bring that vibrancy forward. Then I'm going to try, which is this one. Yeah, so this is sort of a toner, a mist, an essence, whatever you want to call it, by Hylamide. Gorgeous book, straight off the bat, gorgeous packaging. I think what I love about Hylamide, I know it's a little bit more expensive than the Ordinary, but each of their products is a different colour and has different colour packaging. I think sometimes with the Ordinary it can be really difficult to tell which product you're actually picking up. You know, am I picking up my niacinamide or my lactic acid, or am I picking up my Azuraline solution? Who knows, because they all look the same. So I do quite like the fact that we've got a differentiation of colours. And this is their Hydra Density Mist. I've used this a couple of times. I say this was a first impression. I have used this a couple of times because I can never resist a mist. I think where this sort of mist comes in is to keep the skin damp. So all the future products which you put on in your skincare routine are going to sink in better, go deeper, and just work better if they're on damp skin. You've let your exfoliator dry. Mine has literally just dried now. And so the skin is dry and needs to be rehydrated so that we can then put the rest of our skincare on. If your mist has a bit of a hydrating element to it as well, all the better, because I think it's a great time in your skincare routine after your exfoliation to get that start that hydration game. This I absolutely love. It's packed full of rose water, which is lovely. I love rose. It's calming, it smells divine, and it's fantastic. So just have a little spritz of that. I go a little bit overboard with this because I do think I want to be drenched, and it is super hydrating. I think here in the UK this is £14, so it's actually quite a nice mid-priced mist. The spray, I know this isn't what we should be looking at. We should be looking at the ingredients, but the spray on this is really, really good. And that for me is a big thing, because I don't like it when it comes out chunky and it feels like bits of your face are wetter than others. You know what I mean? I like it when it's a light mist that's just, and the spritz on this is gorgeous. Goes quite fast, so you can spray it from a distance to get that full coverage that we want, and I absolutely love it. The only thing I would say from this, they've got some beautiful extracts in here. It's got the rose water, so it's all the natural scents that we love, and it smells divine. Great pick-me-up. You can keep it in the fridge, and so it could be quite cooling on a morning, which I absolutely love. Only thing I would caution is it has got benzyl alcohol in here, which is, I think, is absolutely fine for my skin type because it acts as a preservative. So when you've got loads of natural ingredients and extracts in it, you need a preservative in there because obviously they degrade quicker than some synthetic alternatives. So I see why it's in here, and I think it's absolutely fine on my skin, which tends to be on the oilier side, but some people might find that a little bit drying. I think because there's so many hydrators in here, that doesn't bother me. I think you'll be absolutely fine. But I just wanted to call that out because some people that choose to avoid certain alcohols in their routine might want to give that one a pass. But it's fantastic for me. It goes on, it hydrates, it moisturizes, and it cools. I absolutely love it. Now, a product which I was super, super excited to get my hands on, and you guys have been raving and raving about this for so long, is their Sub-Q Skin. I think it was Tom on this channel, one of our fantastic subscribers, that said to me he bought this the other day and literally overnight saw an improvement in his skin tone, in the plumpness, in the hydration, which is amazing. Now they do say, Hylamide do say on the website that it provides short-term gains and long-term gains, which I kind of love in a product because I know that we have to invest in our skincare now in 3 months' time to get the results we want, but I'm impatient. I want results now. So it's nice that you can get some instant results and some longer term results. Basically, it's a complex. It's a serum. It's a complex which combines different hyaluronic acid and hyaluronic compounds. It's got other active ingredients in there, and it's supposed to just provide a multi-level hydration, so do the surface hydration that we need, but penetrate to do a deeper level hydration. The hyaluronic acid is going to plump the skin, and over time it's going to help address some fine lines and wrinkles, which is, who doesn't want that? Obviously, I go into it far more detail in the full review that I'm going to do later in this month, just when I can see what the results are. But I just thought we'd do a first impressions test on this. It's going to go so messy. Let's pop some on. So again, same with the Ordinary. It's very similar packaging to the Ordinary, but it's coloured, which I love because then you can tell one from the other. So let's just pop this on and see what I think. When I'm doing my skincare on a morning, I tend not to rub it right in because I think there's no need to let some of the product do the work. Don't rub it right until you're rubbing literally on dry skin. I think just let some of the product do its work. I absolutely love this. I think the packaging is really amazing. I love the dropper bottle. Don't do the Instagram thing where you use the dropper bottle to put it all over your face. I hate that. So unhygienic because the bottom of the pipette touches the skin and then you're putting it back in the product and you're just transferring grime and bacteria. So never do that. Put it on your hand and then put it back in. But so far, let me think. It's nice. It doesn't feel too tacky. It's definitely hydrating. I'm looking forward to seeing kind of what the results are in the next 2 days because I think one time isn't going to be enough. But what I look for in a serum is something that I can layer products on top. I've had some trouble with the Ordinary hyaluronic acid in the past of just not being able to layer it. It peels, it doesn't layer. I'm not a huge fan. And so I gave that one a miss. So this could be a really good alternative. I do also have which one is this? Do also have their low molecular hyaluronic acid, which, again, I love a hyaluronic acid. I've really got into it in the past sort of 6 months, since I found a couple that I really like. The Inculist is my go-to, and I love it. But I always put my hyaluronic acid after I usually do my first serum, and then I'll put my hyaluronic acid on, then I'll do another serum, because I think it's quite a useful buffering agent between two serums. If you're putting, say, a niacinamide, which I'm not at the moment because I've got quite a few other oil-controlling ingredients in my skincare routine, and I'm on different gel as a retinol in the evening. I just don't think I need that extra drying, if that makes sense. So I'm not using a niacinamide, but hyaluronic acid is great if you want to buffer your niacinamide and your vitamin C, because a lot of people are worried that if they use niacinamide and vitamin C together, they do interact with each other and create niacin, which can be an irritant on the skin. I think it's fine. Unless you've got really sensitive skin, I think it's fine. But if you do want to just buffer, use a hyaluronic acid as a buffer. Now that's been on for 30 seconds, that's sub-Q, which it feels gorgeous. My skin feels hydrated. There's no stickiness, which I love. I hate serums that leave that sticky, cloying, you feel like you're wearing it sensation. No, I'm over that. There's no stickiness. Feels really nice and sunk straight in. So yeah, high hopes on that, but let's see what results I'm actually going to get in a month's wear. So this is the Hylamide. This is the low molecular hyaluronic acid. I love this colour. Just as a side, I think this is such a gorgeous colour, and for me, they sold the line on the packaging alone. Right, let's pop some on and see. With hyaluronic acid, I like to go with quite a thick layer, which is why I think it's really important that you that you're able to layer it and it sinks in without a trace, because I like to put quite a thick layer on. Pop that on and let's just let it do its work. Yeah, so a lot of you have come to me and said, what should I do if I've got particularly oily skin? So hopefully this will be a really good routine for things that you can add in. Obviously you don't have to buy the Hylamide products. I'm trying them out because I happen to have them and I'm excited to use them. But of course you can use whichever products you want. But I think the key things to have in your routine, if you're someone like me that's suffering with a bit of excess oil, is the good exfoliant, which includes salicylic acid, because that's really, really going to help you. A niacinamide if you feel it's necessary, because that will help to balance that. You should have an adapalene retinol in your evening routine. This is the morning, but in the evening I would use that. And I absolutely would encourage you to do some facial massage in the evening, because that'll just help break everything up, make your cleanser work extra hard, and just really do a deep penetrative cleanse. So I think you'll find that it certainly works for me to removing a lot more oil than if I just did a cleanse without some of the massage, which is absolutely fantastic. This, so far, going well. I feel my skin feels super hydrated and awake. Interesting to know if you can see the difference between when I started the video and was looking, let's be honest, a bit ratchet, a bit tired, a bit... Now I feel alive. I start putting my skincare on and I feel alive. So I absolutely love, and the sub-Q I think is fantastic. I'm not sure that you need the sub-Q and a hyaluronic acid, because the sub-Q has hyaluronic acid, well, hyaluronic compounds in there anyway, so I'm not sure you need it. What attracted me to the hyaluronic acid here, and why I actually really wanted to try it this morning, is there's 5 different hyaluronic compounds which have different molecular weights. So we've talked about the different molecular weights when we did the NIOD multimolecular hyaluronic complex, which has 15 molecular weights. So obviously this is 5, that has 15, but the price point reflects that. But I think different compounds and different molecular weights hydrate at different levels in the skin. So I think it's quite a nice different technology to add into your skincare routine to get the different levels of hydration. And I think just on the first impressions of how this is way, way, way more hydrating than say like the Inculist hyaluronic acid, which I love and is super inexpensive and I think it's fantastic. But this one is, you do get that extra hydration and it sinks in beautifully. So yeah, I'm going to keep trying that. Now, a lot of you say, where would I put the eye serum, the eye creams, any caffeine serums that I want to use? I would probably put it in at this stage, which is midway through your serum steps, because you do take your serums under there, but I think you want the caffeine or whatever active is going to help with the puffiness and inflammation that you might have around the eyes, the dark circles. You want that to come into contact with the skin. So I think halfway through your serum step is really good, or more towards the start of it. I am going to be using, normally I would use the Q+A. I did a whole video on Q+A Skincare, which I love. Their caffeine rollerball, that is game changing. I love that product. It's got caffeine, it's got the rollerball, which you can keep in the fridge, so it's cooling. It constricts those ventricles, so it gets rid of some of the bluish tint that goes under the eye, which makes us look tired, and definitely gets that lymph fluid moving, so it gets rid of some of that water retention and puffiness. However, today I'm going to be trying the Sub-Q Eye Serum. Now, this is a little bit too adjacent to an eye cream for my liking. You know me, I hate eye creams. I just think take your normal moisturiser up under the eye, save your money. However, this is totally different to the other Sub-Q. So different, obviously different size, but there's a completely different texture. So I'm interested to see. This says it's got added technologies to reduce fine lines, help with puffiness, and help with the discoloration. I'm going to just have a look. I don't think there's any caffeine in here. No, so there's no caffeine in this one, which is interesting, but it does claim to be able to tackle those dark circles and the puffiness. It is packed full of peptides, which I love. Anybody that's watched this channel before knows I adore peptides. Goes in like a very liquid serum, and it does claim to be able to tackle those signs. So let's see. I'll be the judge of that, because I do tend to think caffeine is the best active ingredient for under the eyes, but I wanted to try new products and we'll see what this does. Peptides are fantastic at plumping the skin. They're fantastic at creating collagen, which is what's going to get rid of some of those fine lines. So I think this is going to be a more long-term fix than, say, a caffeine solution, which hits you like that and gets rid of the dark circles and puffiness within 5 minutes. But we're going to give it a go and we'll see exactly what we think. Right, while that sinks in and does its work, I just thought I'd take the opportunity to thank everybody so much for subscribing to the channel and supporting the channel. We hit 5,000 subscribers this week and honestly my mind was blown. I was going to do a whole video just doing it as like a thank you and a bit of a highlight to the channel, and I thought, no, there's so many things which you guys have been requesting, routines that you've been asking me to do. I didn't want to clog up my upload schedule with that separate video thank you. But I do want to take this time to say thank you to every single person, whether you've watched one of my videos and this is the first one you've watched. If it is, make sure you subscribe, or whether you've been a hardcore follower from the start. I just want to say thank you so much. It's been a wild journey these past 5 months, and honestly, I wouldn't have changed it for the world. I've got the best subscribers ever, and I've interacted with some great people in the skincare community here on YouTube that are really supportive and become really good friends, which is absolutely fantastic, and I've just loved every single minute of it. So thank you so much for everybody that subscribed. Even if you just hit the thumbs up, which now is a great time to do it if you haven't already, even if you just hit the thumbs up on one of my videos, you've done that little bit to support me, and I just want to say a huge thank you. Now that has dried in. I would say the sub Q+A is a little bit tackier still than the sub-Q serum that I used on the rest of the face, which went in without a trace. This is still a little bit tacky. Maybe it just takes a little bit longer to sink in, so we will keep doing that. I will give it the chance to sink in. But while that's happening, I'm going to apply my vitamin C. I love a vitamin C in the morning. I think my go-to is usually the L-ascorbic acid 100% powder by the Ordinary, which I just mix with my moisturiser and put it on. Gorgeous. But vitamin C is fantastic at brightening the skin, but it's also a powerful antioxidant, so it'll really work well with your SPF to give you that protection you want all through the day. So I love a vitamin C. The Hylamide one is a 25% stabilised vitamin C. Be a little bit careful with the percentages on vitamin C. It can be a bit like retinol. It can be quite misleading because it depends on the vitamin C derivative used and how it's formulated as to what the real strength is. So if you see 25%, you could have two 25% that actually have very different strengths when applied to the skin. So this is a stabilised version of vitamin C, which I like. Vitamin C is super unstable and it degrades really quickly, it oxidizes really quickly. So it's actually got a really short shelf life. So if you can get stabilised vitamin C, which is kind of why I like the Ordinary powder, because it's anhydrous, so you can mix it in with your moisturiser, and it's only when it comes in contact with water really that it starts to oxidize and destabilize. So that's a really good option. This is a stabilized liquid version, so I'm going to give it a go because I do like to have a liquid vitamin C, pre-mixed vitamin C, for like when I'm traveling and things like that, when I don't want to carry a powder around. So it goes on nice. I love the packaging. Again, orange. Vitamin C is always orange. Kind of makes sense. Let's put that on and see what we think. Vitamin C's can be quite warming when you first put them on the skin. They can release they have an exothermic reaction, so it can seem quite warming. And this one kind of does. It's a little bit thicker than, say, the 8% vitamin ascorbic acid with alpha-arbutin by the Ordinary, if you've ever used that one. But it does go on quite nicely. Let's see how it sinks in. There's no fragrance, no colourant, so fully on favour. They've really kept with the same ethos as the Ordinary and the Hylamide brand, it seems. There's no cruelty, it's a cruelty-free brand, which I love. There doesn't seem to be a lot of fragrance and colourants in there, which again, I love, because it just makes it more accessible. I quite like fragrance in skincare, but I do know a lot of people don't, so it makes it accessible for those that don't. So I think that's a really good step forward, and that's the vitamin C on. I think it's let it do its work. There's no tingling. I usually say with a vitamin C, if it tingles, kind of feel like it's working, but I think sometimes the stabilized versions, which this is, then have a longer mechanism of action, so they're going to be working all day, whereas some of the ones that tingle on first hit oxidize, degrade really quickly, and then they don't work for as long. So I think with the vitamin C, actually having something that works all day, it's going to enhance that brightening, but also make sure you've got that antioxidant all day long, which is fantastic. Now, giving that 30 seconds to, a common question that people always ask is, how long should I leave between each skincare step? And I usually say 30 seconds. The golden rule, apparently it's between 20 seconds and a minute is sort of the golden rule. I think 30 seconds is enough. I'm always running late. I never have time to leave the full minute and I kind of get bored. So 30 seconds I think is optimal, but you can feel it. Like this, for example, has disappeared now. So not on the skin anymore. So I now know it's gone in, it's done its work, and I can then crack on with the next step, which is actually just going to be my SPF. Nothing can take me away from the Purito Comfy Water, which I'm absolutely loving at the moment. It is super hot here in the UK. We're having a bit of a mini heat wave, which no complaints. So it's really important to have SPF anyway. But particularly today when I'm going to be going out running a few errands and it's going to be super hot, putting that vitamin C on is going to help protect with the antioxidants, but it's also super important you put the SPF on. So this is the Purito Comfy Block. I did a review on this product. I love it. This should be everyone's go-to SPF. It's absolutely fantastic. If you want some other SPF alternatives, I will link a video I did on drugstore SPF. So if you want something like cheap, drugstore but effective, check that video out because there's some really good recommendations in there. Now, overall, what do I think? Well, first of all, this vitamin C is starting to tingle a little bit now, which is good. I know it's working. Maybe it took a little bit of time to work its way through the hyaluronic acid and the sub-Q to get to the skin to start tingling. So absolutely love that. So we've tried a few different things. I would definitely recommend, if you haven't already and you're looking for a really good strength. A lot of people have said, can you give me sort of like a mid-strength glycolic and salicylic mix exfoliator? I think the Nip and Fab is a really good option. The glycolic acid 6% is exactly what you need for a daily toning strength, and the 2% salicylic acid is fantastic, which is why I didn't use a separate salicylic acid serum, but I absolutely love that. So I fully recommend checking that out if you haven't already. Really good product. Just be careful, it is fragranced, so that might not be for you if that's something that you're concerned about. Overall, I'm super excited about the sub-Q. It felt amazing on the skin, and I already feel, I don't know, can you tell any difference now before when I started? Do I look like 10 years younger? I doubt it. I wish. But I do think the sub-Q really worked to help plump and prime the skin for the rest of the skincare. I thought the hyaluronic acid disappeared without a trace, which was really good because I don't like anything that layers. And I'm getting quite a good tingle from the vitamin C, which shows it's a good strength and it's working for me so far. So I think on first impressions, I really like the line. I think it's colourful. I think it's cute. I like the packaging is gorgeous. I love the colorants. I think it's absolutely fantastic. But I think the proof is going to be in whether it actually works long term. So wait a month and I'll tell you my exact thoughts on it. The only thing at the moment I think you could possibly give a miss to would be the mist. I do like the mist, but I think the addition of the benzyl alcohol will put a few people off. And I think, you know, using like the low thermal by La Roche-Posay, that's going to drench the skin in water, so rehydrate the skin, get it damp for the rest of your skincare without any of those extra ingredients. So it's personal preference, but on the face of it, I'm very impressed so far, and I look forward to being able to do the next review of this skincare line. If you have any questions or anything, leave them in the comments below. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video and you'll give it a thumbs up. I know it's a bit rambling and a little bit chatty, but you guys asked for a morning routine. You got a morning routine, and we've mixed it with a little bit of a try on and a first impressions as well. Wherever you are in the world, guys, I hope you're staying safe and well, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.